From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
The legislature and governor odds over veto power and timing. We have the details coming up at 6:30.
This empty parking lot will be full come tomorrow morning. I'm Chet Lehman at FWP's Region 3 headquarters in Bozeman. This week, a bear safety event taking place right here that'll give you a chance to practice some life-saving skills.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
It's 6:28.
It is.
You know, taking my dog out early before I came to work, a little drizzly outside.
Yeah, a few drips, a few drops, that's about it. Damp roadways in Butte this morning.
Clouds just get lower and lower.
Yeah.
Morning showers are going to be light. It is warm this morning, but we're not going to see a big change in our temperatures through the day today. Right now, most of us are holding into the 50s. Our daytime highs expected to be more into that mid-60 range by the afternoon. Not much showing up on satellite and radar, nothing heavy at this point, but you look at Futurecast really picking up on the possibility of some morning showers that will continue to pile through the early afternoon and then fade as you head into the evening. You see that breeze is picking up on campus this morning. We're going to see some off and on showers as you go through the day today. Again, we're probably looking at morning and early afternoon potential, some of those heavier rain showers fading as we head into the evening. I'm going to talk more about what you can expect this week, maybe a lull in the rain by the end. We'll talk about that, of course, in just a little bit.
All right, looking forward to it, Matt. Thank you very much. Our top story this half hour, the Montana legislature has voted to enact 2 bills dealing with the Montana State Hospital into law over Governor Greg Gianforte's veto. The Montana Secretary of State's office released results last week in the latest round of veto override polls, where lawmakers vote by mail on whether to overturn a veto. More than 2/3 of the House and Senate voted for House Bill 29, which requires the state to start transferring patients out of the state hospital if their primary diagnosis is dementia or traumatic brain injury. And for Senate Bill 4, which requires Montana DPHHS to share reports of any alleged abuse or neglect at the hospital.
Now, Governor Gianforte has vetoed 25 bills passed during this year's legislative session, and lawmakers have been polled on 19 of them. But the legislature didn't get another chance to weigh in on one broadly supported bill. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Amberian reports that has now led to legal action.
This week, 2 separate lawsuits were filed against Governor Greg Gianforte and Secretary of State Christy Jacobson, arguing that the timing of the veto of Senate Bill 442 deprived lawmakers of their opportunity to decide whether to override the veto.
What happened with SB 442 is the veto came in such a manner that it hit the legislature in this sort of no man's land.
Constance Van Clay is litigation director for Upper 7 Law, which is representing Wild Montana and the Montana Wildlife Federation. Another suit came from the Montana Association of Counties. SB 442, sponsored by Republican Senator Mike Lang of Malta, would have used a share of marijuana tax revenues to help counties fund construction and repair of rural roads, while also increasing funding for wildlife habitat improvement projects and veterans services. It drew support from 85% of lawmakers, but Gianforte vetoed it, saying it wasn't appropriate to use ongoing state money for a local responsibility like roads. The veto came on the last day of the session, just before the Senate adjourned in a surprise sine die motion. The plaintiffs say the veto was never officially announced on the Senate floor, so senators didn't have a real chance to try to override it. If a veto comes after the session is over and the bill got 2/3 support in the House and Senate, the Secretary of State polls lawmakers by mail on whether they want to enact it into law over the governor's veto. Plaintiffs say if that doesn't happen here, they're concerned not only that this bill won't get its opportunity, but that it would create a loophole governors could use in the future to keep the legislature from having a chance to override.
And there certainly will be those opportunities if this particular action is not corrected.
The first successful veto override of this year came last week on House Bill 693 from Republican Representative Bill Mercer of Billings. It says public agencies can't refuse to provide public information simply because it's part of litigation. The last set of veto override polls currently in progress is set to wrap up on June 20th. In Helena, Jonathan Amberian, MTN News.
Thank you very much, Jonathan. Now on the national scene, former President Donald Trump is set to appear in federal court tomorrow in Miami.
He's accused of knowingly holding hundreds of classified documents in Mar-a-Lago. Scripps News national correspondent Stephanie Sandoval has a look at what's next.
The former president, now facing a second indictment, is scheduled to be arraigned in federal court Tuesday over an investigation into his handling of classified documents. FBI agents found more than 100 classified documents at his home in Florida back in August. The indictment against former President Donald Trump says he stored the boxes filled with documents in various locations at the Mar-a-Lago Club in Palm Beach, including a bathroom, and accuses Trump of showing the classified documents to others at least 2 times in 2021. Trump responded to the indictment, writing on Truth Social that he was innocent. Several Republican leaders and Trump allies, including U.S. Representative Jim Jordan, have defended Trump, saying he did nothing wrong.
So if he wants to store material in a box in a bathroom, if he wants to store it in a box on a stage, he can do that. That is just what the law and the standard is. So again, I think this just underscores how political this whole thing is.
Former Arkansas governor and presidential candidate Asa Hutchinson on CNN's State of the Union on Sunday said the allegations should be taken seriously.
My point is that this is bad for our country, bad for the presidency, and it is a legitimate campaign issue. We do not need to have our commander-in-chief of this country not protecting our nation's secrets.
Trump's former U.S. Attorney General Bill Barr told Fox News on Sunday he was shocked to hear about how many documents Trump had in his possession and the level of sensitivity. He also pushed back against Trump's belief that he is the victim of a politically motivated witch hunt, saying he's not a victim here.
If even half of it is true, then he's toast. I mean, it's a very detailed indictment, and it's very, very damning. He was totally wrong that he had the right to have those documents. Those documents are among the most sensitive secrets that the country has.
Stephanie Sandoval, Scripps News.
Now, Stephanie tells us former President Trump told Politico he will continue to run for president even if he's convicted in the case. Now, legally, he can still run for president even from prison. So it'll be up to voters on whether to vote for him.
Now, switching gears a little bit, Mary Fields, also known as Stagecoach Mary, was the first black woman employed as a Star Route mail carrier in the United States.
And she did it right here in Montana. MTN's Owen Skornick Hayes learns more about Mary's life.
The second Saturday of each month, the History Museum here in Great Falls hosts a speaker to shine lights on unique facets of the area's past. Today's story, the life of a prominent African-American woman who made her home here in Cascade County, Mary Fields.
I think that women's histories are often obscure in the West, and especially African Americans' histories. So what an awesome opportunity to learn about the life of Mary Fields.
Mary Fields was born a slave in the early 1830s, where she lived in bondage until the end of the Civil War.
And from that humble beginning, I guess, she became what Gary Cooper called one of the freest women to ever draw a breath in a .38.
Upon her emancipation at the end of the war, Fields eventually found work at the Ursuline Convent in Toledo, Ohio, washing laundry and managing the kitchen. Many of the nuns in Toledo left for St. Peter's Mission, 15 miles west of Cascade, Montana, Fields being one of them. Though liked by the nuns, Fields had a vulgar side, meaning she didn't always fit in at the mission.
There was a reported gunfight between Mary and one of the workers at the mission, and it's been embellished beyond belief. But anyway, the bishop had had enough, and he asked Mary to leave. So she moved to Cascade and spent the rest of her life in Cascade.
It was in Cascade that Mary made history, becoming the first African-American woman to be contracted by the U.S. Post Office as a Star Route mail carrier via Stagecoach.
She spent 8 years traveling that Star Route from Cascade to St. Peter's Mission, delivering the mail and packages and whatever else. As a black woman who was very much ostracized in the West or anywhere in the United States. And she worked through all of that, being put down, being the only black woman. And in Cascade, actually, she was the only woman who was allowed to drink in the bars.
Museum curator Christy Scott is excited to announce upcoming exhibits.
Coming up next month in July, we have historic tours of the Northside Residential District and also Machinery Row, and folks will sign up for their place in those tours, with members getting the very first slots.
From Great Falls, Owen Skornick Hayes, MTN News.
You know, Montana is just rich with so much history.
Great history.
So any chance I think you get to just connect a little bit to your town.
Yeah.
Really great way to
Good
do
stuff.
so.
Yep.
Really neat story. Thank you very much, Owen. All right, well, they say practice makes perfect, and that sounds great till you realize the one thing you need to work perfectly is something that's actually pretty tough to practice.
Yeah, using bear spray can and will save your life if you use it correctly.
Right.
Now this week we have a way for you to get that perfect practice and learn a lot about bears in general at a one-day event. If you're heading out and about in southwest Montana, you are in bear country. So before you head out here, maybe you should stop here.
We're going to have an event Tuesday, June 13th, where people can come and get a broad sample of tools and resources available to them to stay safe in bear country. Part of that includes a bear spray demonstration, so folks will be able to use inert bear spray on a moving target and get practice with that.
The event will also feature just about everything Bruin, from examples to discussions.
About bear management and ways that Fish, Wildlife and Parks helps keep people safe, keep bears safe, and really just mitigate problems. We'll also talk about food and attractant storage options for folks and just what's available to them.
Now, most of us have never had to use our bear spray. This event will give you that chance in a controlled environment.
It gives you a sense of how prepared you are. There's lots of different ways to carry bear spray, and those are all great depending on what activity you're doing, but if you don't have the muscle memory to be able to deploy it at a second's notice, then puts you at a disadvantage.
Jacobson also says this event a great way to help the youngsters begin practicing safe bear country travel.
And there's something there for everybody. We'll have life-sized bear mounts, both black bears and grizzly bears. We'll have talks every hour about bear biology, bear safety, bear management. We'll have the bear spray demonstration, and we'll have up to 30 cans of bear spray to give away to the first folks who come.
The event begins at 11:30 right here on Tuesday and runs until 4 in the afternoon. This week at Fish, Wildlife and Parks Region 3 headquarters in Bozeman. Chet Lehman, MTN News.
All great tips.
Good stuff there too. Good to go practice.
Yes.
It's a good chance to do that without hurting yourself with the bear spray or a bear.
Yeah.
Good stuff. 11:30 to 4 tomorrow.
Great all around.
There you go.
What else is really great all around? Again, one of my favorite things that we do here on this network. Every month we feature a child in Montana who is waiting to find their forever family as part of our Awaiting Child program.
This morning, MTN's Diane Parker introduces us to 14-year-old Amanda.
Last July, we met Amanda in Anaconda. She's now 14 and still loves to be around others and to be a loyal friend.
I want to be in a family because I don't want to be in group homes anymore.
We caught up with Amanda's social worker to see how she's been doing.
For the last couple of months, Amanda has been experiencing some big challenges. She's working on that, but having a loving, supportive family would help her work on that faster.
Good family looks like kind and friendly.
Amanda is a great kiddo. She will be your #1 road trip buddy. She loves music, loves singing. She is hilarious, but she's definitely looking for a patient family because she can get pretty sassy.
With Amanda's nurturing personality, she hopes to help take care of little siblings and help out with family pets.
She's friendly, outgoing. She cares about people, always asks me about if I have kids that were in her group home. She always checks in and see how they're doing. So she does, have some bonds with the other kids.
Good family to be is a nice family, a kind family, and doing activities with us.
As the need for more foster parents continues to grow, the wait time for kids to find a suitable place is also increasing.
I've spent whole days looking for a placement for a child while they're in my visitation room hanging out. We need more foster parents.
You can get started in the process to become a foster home by calling your local office. In Anaconda, Diane Parker, MTN News.
And for more information about our Awaiting Child program, all of our MTN websites have resources for you.
And I'll point out mentioning that she can be sassy. She's 14.
Yes, kind of comes with
Just
the
leave
territory.
that right there, yeah.
A little bit with a 14-year-old girl.
That's bad.
All right, time for a quick break. But